The Celtics beat the Mavs by a scintilla of points, and this happened as well. Kemba Walker played really well. He had 29 points. Jaylen Brown had 25. Kemba did exit the game with some back issues at the end, but don't look now. The Celtics have not lost since that very first game to the Sixers. Can they keep this streak alive with all the injury problems they have?
I believe they can, and I have one word to describe this Celtics team versus last year's, and you hear a lot of this term when you talk about politics. Economic. That's what reminds me of this team versus last year. Here's what I mean. A guy like Kemba Walker can get you to 20, 25 plus, but he doesn't have to dominate the ball and have as many dribbles. And now all of a sudden, you see that action, right? Throw it to the high post, drive and kick, scissor action, dribble handoff. He likes his little step back where he puts people on skates. And that's the one thing I really like about Kemba. He's really herky-jerky. He's been like that since he was at UConn. Watching that guy play 6 straight games and win the national championship, win the Big East championship, and then win the national championship that year. I actually talked to their team that year and told he and Shabazz Napier that they have what it took to make it to the Final Four after they lost to Louisville and their coach got ejected. So I've been believing in Kemba that long. I'm glad he's back on the East Coast doing work.
We're celebrating Kemba, and there's something to be said for the play of Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum did not have a great night. He was 1 for 18 from the floor. Jalen Rose, I'm sure you were never 1 for 18, but I'm sure there were some nights you wish you played better. What does it feel like to lay an egg on the national stage, and how do you bounce back?
And the only reason why you know that I was never 1 for 18, and I know you very well, that was not a compliment. It's because you researched it and you
I would have found out. Oh,
because you would have loved if I was.
I look up your worst games. I don't look up your best games. You'll talk about your best games to yourself. It's on me to look up your worst games.
Correct. And for Jayson Tatum, it all depends on the team outcome. So if you play poorly and the team loses, you feel doubly worse. But when the team wins, you bounce off and you get ready for the next game. And while he still has not had what I would have hoped this opportunity to be an all-star level player type of performances yet this year, let's see if he can get there. But in the team dynamic, they've won 8 straight. And this is the collection of players that I think Brad Stevens is more comfortable coaching more so than what's considered the superstar player in a team dynamic.
It's almost like Tatum's a victim of his own success. Like, he was so good that rookie season, especially in the playoffs, that we're waiting for him to make the leap, to make the leap, to make the leap. But maybe he's just going to have a little bit more of a slow trajectory into stardom than we expected. Moving on, it's time for you to take us behind the curtain. Okay, Jalen, the Spurs are a really well-coached team. So let's just check in on this out-of-bounds play. I'm not sure this is how Pop drew it up right here. So it goes Lyles to Murray. Murray steps out of bounds, and then back to Lyles. Like, Jalen, how does this happen?
This has nothing to do with coaching. It's the same thing that we said with Eric Bledsoe. It's the same, probably taking the same gummies that Deion Waiters have been eating. How about this, Tanner? Can we get him a failed test, please? Because that's what I saw there. That's all I saw. That's all I saw.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.